Stanley is a family man and an artist. Wait till you see his work. That artwork on display this weekend. And joining us this morning, the man himself, Paul Stanley. Good to see you this morning.
Nice to be here.
The artwork is so beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Art to me is another means of self-expression, and I think the beauty of any of the arts is using your emotions to connect with somebody else's. So I've been blessed and very successful, and it's just another way of me emoting. So
you use this kind of as therapy, I was reading.
It's very cathartic. I think anytime you find a way to purge, it's almost like kind of like free-form association where you're using color and texture instead of words. So I very often approach a canvas without any idea what I'm going to do. It's kind of like going on a trip without a map, and wherever you turn up, that's where you are.
And you use all sorts of instruments to create this artwork, too.
Yeah,
not just a brush.
No, it's interesting because Van Gogh once said to his brother, I'm not content anymore to be the painter. I want to be the paint. And I think the whole idea of it, putting as much of yourself in your work as possible is something that translates to people. So I'll use my fingers, I'll use brushes, I'll use anything. Nothing's safe.
It's kind of interesting, too, your background, because music and art, and that's where you went to high school here in the city for both those things.
I actually got into school for art, and I did the impossible. I failed art, which is,
I was there when you met.
They're going to put a statue up to me over there, because, but, I'm a real hard worker. I tell people nobody works harder than me, but I don't like to work to somebody else's schedule, and I'm not really big on bosses, so I found a job where I could be the boss.
You were saying in an interview that, the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Sure.
For you, it just fell into place for you.
Well, people, I think, make their own luck. There is no such thing as luck. Luck is actually seizing an opportunity that other people don't see. So, the people who always tell you what's impossible are the ones who failed. So, I tell people, go out there, find what you want, and get it.
I think Vince Lombardi was when he said, luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Like you said, you worked hard at it.
Well, I say to people, obstacles are what you see when you lose sight of your goals. If you know where you're going, you don't see anything that's in your way.
Did you have anything to do with the painting on your face over?
Yeah, of course. The makeup has become so iconic. People around the world really understand and relate to those four characters, even if they don't know the people behind them. I always say to people, you may not be able to look like Kiss, but you can feel like Kiss.
There's a lot of people, especially in your business, that keep holding on to the past, keep holding on to you really graduated, you found a new outlet, and you've grown.
I think it's important that, if you're not inspired every day, then you should either go back to sleep or you should start living. So, whether it's doing theater, I did Phantom of the Opera, painting, to me it's all about the challenges you set for yourself. If, I take on a challenge, I define myself by how I do it, and I usually do pretty well.
People stand in front of your pictures and they try to determine what they are. Do you have an understanding of what they are, or do you just feel is it more of a feeling?
Oh, no, very much. When a piece is finished, obviously there are pieces that I do knowing what I'm going to be doing, but there are other pieces where I kind of look at, and afterwards I go, oh, so that's where I'm at. But I tell people it's very important. You may want to know my reality of a piece, but ultimately what's more important is your reality. You're taking it home. The beauty of abstract art is that it's interpretive. So, what you find in it is at least as valid as what I'm putting into it. I do it to please myself, but ultimately, you're taking it home, so you tell me what it's about.
You got a little distance between when you were on the top of the rock, when you look back, you consider yourself a blessed guy, I would imagine?
Yeah, again, a very hard-working guy. We just did the 35 shows in Europe. We did the biggest tour we've ever done, played to about 400,000 people. We started stadiums in South America in April. We're in the studio. I'm producing the new album. We haven't done one in 10 years. It's phenomenal. People who remember us from the 70s don't realize that we're actually bigger today.
They remember you from the 70s?
Well, some do. Some do. Some it's a blur. They don't remember themselves from the 70s.
Before we let you go, congratulations on being a dad again.
Yeah, 3 children. So I've got a 3-week-old, a 2.5-year-old, and a 14-year-old.
Good for you.
And Sarah, 3 weeks old. Wow, wonderful. Paul, good to see you.
Likewise.
And you can see Paul tonight, right at the Wentworth Gallery. It's wonderful in Short Hills, New Jersey. And for more information, you can head over to our website, WCBSTV.com.